Hey, good evening. Let's Lakeista, you're like first like every week. Barbara Dolores, hello. Sabrina Scales, good evening to you. Janet, giving you some love. Thank you for joining us. Did I even do that right? Let me see. Chad. All right. So the question is, where is Chad Howard this week? And where is Trish Howard this week? So we have to figure that out. That's today's mystery question. Good to see Ebony Talbert. Thank you for joining us. Gloria Wells is on, and Red Strawberries reminding everyone to juice, juice, juice. Coach Cassell Bell from Duval, Jacksonville, Florida. Good to see you. Gene Coleman. Hello, Lita. I missed you today. Where were you? Um, Brenda Ponda is on with us, and Trish reports that Trish and Chat are home. So we're glad. So we know where the Howards are. E. Joyce Paris is with us every single Friday night. Good to see her. Linda, all the way from Reno, Nevada as well. Thank you very much. Good to see you as well. Hey, Delandria Smith, thank you for joining us. Hey, Pinky, what mama surgery went well yesterday? Y'all ain't tell me mama had no surgery. Y'all got some explaining to do, but I'll deal with y'all in a minute. Lenora Moore, hey, thank you for joining us. Good to see Catherine Grant on. Thank you for joining us. Hello, my Johnette. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. LaWanda Tillman, I know how you feel now. My New York Knicks are now on the couch, so I mean, I'm really not interested in basketball no more. So I know the feeling. But good to see you, Alfonso Rebote. Good to see you, sir. Congratulations on a great event last week. Congratulations. Aunt Ollie has joined us. Thank you so much. Lita says she took the day off. How dare you? Reverend Von Demetria Jackson. Oh, you missed it last week. Vaughn, you missed it. You missed it. House on fire. You missed it. But I'll tell you about that later. Barbara Pinckney, good to see you as well. Hey, Carlita, thank you for joining us as well. Dr. Priscilla Williams, good to see you. Monia from Ruin Thai Cuisine, thank you for joining us. Faye Law says hello, and Aviana says hello. Hey, Aviana, I thought you were supposed to come by and see me. So I need to see Aviana before Aviana goes on vacation. Good to see Annette Tukes on. Good to see you. Latasha Jarrett is on with us as well. Gloria Smith, thank you. To see you. Alfonso Buenos Noches as well. Ken Superstar Slats, good to see you, sir. Thank you for all the work you do for the city of Savannah. Georgia Davis is on with us. And Gabrielle Nelson, 2098. We're ready. I hope you're doing all right. Hey, Alberta Campbell, my second favorite Campbell. You know, you understand. You're my second favorite Campbell. Good to see the Dr. Karen Cooper, Smile Designs, and one of the newest members of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Good to see you, Doc. Thank you for joining us. And yes, I will floss before I go to bed tonight. Good to see Charlinda Warner on, our Lupus Warrior. We have not seen you in a minute. And we're feeling some kind of way about that. But we'll deal with you in a moment. Reverend Thurman Neal Tillman, good to see you, sir. Thank you for joining us. Always good to see you. Karolinsky, hey, Karolinsky, good to see you as well. And Juliet Dinkins, good to see you as well. Elder Erica is on, which means that the sweet Maya Giovanni is on, who I have not seen in a long time. And I want to know why I have not seen you, Maya. I mean, don't do me like that, okay? I want to see you. And the mommies need to make that happen, okay? I need to see you. All right? Thank you very much. Let me see. Let's see. Tam Reeves is on. Gloria Wells is on as well. Kathy Grant, good to see you. Angie Scott from the DMV, now in the SAV. Good to see you. Jonathan Fowler, thank you for joining us. I am doing well. Hopefully you're doing well. And yes, it is 2089. I'm sorry. You can keep the change. but 2089, I got it. Arizona Brown, good to see you. Hello as well. And good to see Miss Bernice Tate. I hope you're doing well, ma'am. And Jacqueline Grant as well. And Jonathan Fowler, you're going to invite me back to preacher, y'all. I ain't no preacher. Y'all ain't getting me caught up in that. I might come and speak, but I'm not no preacher. You the preacher. I leave, preaching to the preaching. I'll do the mayoring, but I leave the preacher to the preachers. Marsha leaving, Mama Marsha, where you been? We've looked for you. We saw Molly, but we haven't seen you. Good to see my cousin Marion Jones on. Good to see you. Camila is on time again. This is like a streak. Joan Daniel, good to see you. Willie Brantley, good evening to you. Ann Morris is on with us. Hey, Erica, hope you are doing well. Savannah Black History, it is the weekend. Crystal Kaufman, the child, is on. Good to see you as well. We don't know where mommy is, so we need to know where mommy is. Crystal Creations is on with us. And Ernestine is back from Augusta. You missed us, but you could have made it from wherever you were. You know that, right? So, Sydney wants to know about paving streets downtown. All our streets downtown are paved. All the streets are paved downtown. Now, some are needed repaving, but we continue. That's a year-round process. Rockin' Robin McDaniel Beck, all the way from Kansas City, Missouri. She's on. Good to see you as well. Darnell Walker is on from Ludowici. Good to see you. Go Savannah State Tigers. Josie Jones is on with us. Good to see you. And congratulations, Reverend Bonametra Jackson, who is now officially retired. So y'all join me in congratulating Von Jackson for retiring. Katrina Cooper has joined us. Good evening, ma'am. Hope you're doing well. Ernestine is in Augusta. Okay, Evelyn Marshall, hello. Ernisa, good evening to you. All right, there go Mama Charlotte. Good to see you as well. Okay, Sydney was repaving. Yes, sir. We do repave, so if there's a particular street, just inbox me and I can find out. All right, now, hold up now. We ain't going to have, now, Katrina is shouting out Karen, and we ain't doing all this new AKA stuff on here. Y'all shouting each other out. We ain't doing that. This is red, white, and blue. Shirley Spears, good to see you. Tam Love, good to see Tam Love on as well. Lahoma Scott, thank you for joining us as well. Lynn Brennan has joined us. Good to see you. And all of you, thank you for joining us. It is Friday night, and you know what happens every single Friday night. We get together. We are so glad that you have joined us. Glad to make another Friday. In spite of all that is going on, if you could just get to Friday, if you could just count to 7, and 7 is the spiritual number of completion, if you could just get to 7, and 8 is new beginnings, then if you could just complete the week, then Saturday is your new beginning. So thank you so much. Good to see April Levy on. I hope you're doing well. Lisa Wiggins is on as well. Barbara is on, and Antoinette Latrice is on. Thank you all so much for joining us on Friday Night Live. It's always a pleasure to be with you after a real crazy kind of week. And there's a lot to talk about as well. Margarita, thank you for joining us. And so we're going to... I'm going to jump through this stuff. And as always, if you have questions like Brother Sidney had a question, feel free to go ahead and get those questions in, and I will answer them as best I can, okay? Oftentimes off the fly, okay? So thank you very much to Leah. Miss Strawberry is on. Good to see you. Angie Gillis, thank you. As well, Shauna Kennedy has joined us. So as you know, we want people to like the page. We want you to like the page. We want you to share the page, right? Like the page, share the page. That's what we do every single Friday. Patricia Johnson, thank you for joining us as well. And so first we show love for our girl Tara, right? All right. Well, Carol, thank you so much. I'm glad you made it, right? So we appreciate that. So we want you to send out love for our girl Tara, and you know that's what we do. And so we want you to go ahead and join us. 3 green apple hearts followed by a red heart, right? Um, okay. Trish, thank you very much. Mary Thomas, good to see you as well. Um, yeah, we're doing that. Marlo Tom Phillips, hey Marlo, good to see you as well. Um, but thank you for showing that your Tara is strong. And then, of course, we always show love for Charlinda and the other Lupus Warriors, even when Charlinda doesn't even come. She don't even bother to come on Friday Night Live, and we still lift her and the Lupus Warriors up. So let's go give some love for the Lupus Warriors as well. Good to see you, Barbara Foster. Thank you for joining us. MG Steele is in the house. Good to see you as well. And so we send out love for those that have lupus, but lupus does not have them, right? So we send out love for them even when Charlinda does not come on. Good to see Barbara Kaufman has joined us. Barbara, the child had got on before you. Charlinda, we lift you up every week, and you're not even on Friday Night Live. You don't even bother to come on, and we lifting you up anyway. So we send out love to Charlinda and all the lupus warriors out there, and we want you to keep fighting. That's why you're a warrior. Warriors don't give up, right? So Daphne, good to see you as well. Let me see. I'm making sure I'm not missing anybody. Henry Lee Perry, good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us. And then, of course, we send out love to those dealing with multiple sclerosis, right? We send out 3 orange hearts and that red heart. So we send those out for those that are battling multiple sclerosis. So this is a community, and we appreciate you all as well. Thank you, Miss Albernia Jackson. I appreciate your support, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. And ladies and gentlemen, we have built community here. Here we go. Every single Friday night. This is week number 218. Every single Friday night for the last 1,527 days. Every single Friday night for the last 4 years and 2 months. Every single Friday night for the last 50 months. You and I have been together. No matter where I've been, no matter where you've been, no matter whether Golden State was playing or winning or losing, no matter whether Charlinda was here or not coming or bothering with us, no matter what Raines High School in Jacksonville was doing one way or another, we were together through ups and downs, through happy times and very sad times, through very tragic times. We are still together. We have built a digital community. And I am so thankful to all of you for helping us to expand, because we know our world is a smaller place, and we know that every Friday night we get together and we spend an hour or so together, and I appreciate you all allowing me to be a part of your Friday night. Charlinda, I make you feel bad, then you don't need to miss Friday Night Live anymore. You don't miss Friday Night Live, I will make you feel, because we're still going to shout out to Lupus Warriors. You the one got us doing it. So thank you all so much. Couple of things. Good to see Spencer E. White III. Good to see you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you all, and I appreciate you allowing me to be your date, Carol, and spend a little bit of time with you. So a lot of things I want to talk about, and I'll start with the easy first. Linda, good to see you. I sponsored with the United Negro College Fund this week. This is the 3rd time that I've done a luncheon to help raise money for historically black colleges and institutions. We believe that people who want to go to college should go to college, and the finances should not be the reason they don't go to college. And so we know that historically black colleges and institutions have different challenges than other institutions. We know that historically black colleges and institutions don't only educate black folks. A lot of people, everybody from all races and creeds go to historically black colleges and institutions. I will tell you, being a proud graduate of the Savannah State University, you can get anywhere from Savannah State. I will tell you that I am the man I am because of the love, the care, the concern, the matriculation that I got at Savannah State. And so I just want other people to have that same opportunity, other young people that need a village of caring, educated folks to care enough about them and not take no crap off of them and insist on excellence from them. And so, matter of fact, I'm feeling so good about that. I'm going to go ahead and just send out some Savannah State love just because it's Savannah State. But, I mean, you can't forget what helped bring you over. And so, no, I didn't get accepted into Harvard. I didn't get accepted into Princeton. I didn't get accepted into the University of Georgia. I didn't apply for it, but I didn't get accepted. But the fact of the matter was, a school did choose me, and as a result, I'm the mayor of this city, and I'm happy about that. So I wanted to make sure I'm putting that out there for Savannah State. And so we want to create some opportunities for other young people, people from single family homes, so people from double family homes where, money is an issue, and we want to help raise that money. So, so thank you. I appreciate that. And there are a lot of us that have been blessed by Savannah State. And so we should not be selfish enough to think just because we got through, we don't need other people to get through. So good to see you, Edward Markey. Hope you are doing well. But we raised a bunch of money, and I thank all the folks. I thank the Deltas and the AKAs and the Alphas and the Sigmas and the Qs and the Kappas, Sigma Gamma Rhos, the churches that gave and participated. Thank you all so much. The Zetas, the Sigmas, I think I said already, for helping us to raise this money. And I have an update because when we last left, both Alpha Kappa Alpha and Delta Sigma Theta had both pledged $500 towards this year's campaign. Well, that night, Elaine Campbell, who is the president of the Savannah Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta, and they got like 5,000 of them in it. She sends me a text and says that we have raised, they have raised an additional 500. So now the Deltas have raised $1,000 towards this cause. So thank you, Elaine Campbell, and thank you to all the Saras of the Savannah Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta. Good to see you, Gene Ballard. Hope you're doing well. As well, good to see Gloria Lloyd on. Good to see you, Precious. Hope you're doing well. Good to see Delisa Cliff on. Thank you. As well, Dot Davis is on as well. Good to see you. And Lynn, I will bring that up as well when you get a chance. Cheryl as well. Thank you. The Councilwoman Teeny Ade Broughton, who is a councilwoman in Pensacola, Florida. She's doing a magnificent job down in Pensacola, Florida. And she's a councilwoman, and she's here with us in Savannah. So thank you. Melody, good to see you. The legend himself, Tyrone Hollywood Brown, good to see you, sir. Thank you for joining us as well. So thank you. Jocelyn Rose has joined us as well. Paula, thank you for joining us. So I'll go ahead and deal with Lynn's second question first, and then I'll go back. So SCAD, the Savannah College of Art and Design, don't pay property taxes on buildings that are used for an educational purpose. But neither does Savannah State, neither does Georgia Southern. The reality is that no educational institution pays property taxes. So although people want to often point out SCAD, the fact is Savannah State doesn't either. South College doesn't either, because that's the law as it relates to nonprofit institutions, both for the federal and for the state. They don't pay property taxes. Neither do churches, neither do synagogues, neither do temples, neither do mosques. They don't pay property taxes. So I know people often want to be able to say, well, SCAD needs to pay its fair share. Well, they don't, because they don't have to, because the law says they don't have to. Now, they do pay property taxes on buildings that don't have a direct educational use. They do pay it. But the ones that they don't because they don't have to. So I hope that answers your question. Let's see. Paula Evans, good to see you. Hey, Miriam Center. Good to see you. And Friday night is a Jewish religious night. I appreciate you. And Miriam Center, I love and will always love because in 2003, when I first ran for office, the first time, and nobody believed in me, nobody believed in me. Ms. Center gave me my first campaign donation. For real. She gave me my first campaign donation. It's one thing to say you believe in somebody, something different to put your money where your mouth is. And Miriam Center, I will always be very grateful for you and your support. Sabrina Robinson is on. Deborah Walker is on as well. And let me see. Hey, Mama Julia is on. Y'all show some love to Julia Carter. Give her some love. Lynn, right now, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I understand the non-payment. There should be a limit on the footprint. Yeah, that's going to be on federal and the state law. You have some pretty large campuses. Georgia Southern is most of Statesboro. So, I mean, Georgia Southern does not pay any property taxes in Statesboro. If they did, I mean, University of Georgia is huge in Athens. I mean, it is most of Athens. They don't pay property taxes. Savannah State doesn't pay property taxes to the city of Savannah or to Thunderbolt. Georgia Southern at the Armstrong campus doesn't pay any taxes to the city of Savannah. So, I mean, I think people feel about it philosophically, but in the end, it's going to require a change in state law. And so we just have to do it. So, but anyway, let's see. Thank you, Lynn. Deborah, thank you. Thank you for joining us as well. And Edward says his daughter just graduated. And thank you very much. And she got a job. So, and that makes you happy, right? Congratulations to your daughter. Congratulations for that. I'm going to go ahead and give some love for you. The love is not for you, Edward. It's for your daughter. So congratulations to that. Hey, Jackie is on. Margie is on. Our senior statesman, Sir Cliff McCurry, is on. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Kelly Fletcher is showing up out of nowhere. Where have you been? And Shauna DeJesus, thank you for joining us as well. Lily Reddick is on. Thank you. Carol, could we put a marine aquarium at the Civic Center? I mean, possibly. Trish says tuition is much cheaper than SCAD. Yeah. But again, that is state law and it's financial law. And, I mean, I've stopped really weighing in on that because at the end of the day, I can't change it. Whatever the feds say, whatever the state says, we have to allow that to happen. And so, they would have to work all of that out. Do you make a distinction between private colleges and public colleges? You have in Atlanta, Morris Brown and Clark, and Morehouse and Spelman, which are private institutions, yet they pay no property taxes to the city of Atlanta, but they have a huge footprint. So, I mean, I don't know how you do that. And so I leave that to those. I kind of stay in my lane. Good to see Ben Woodson Sr. on as well. Good to see Lane on. Hope you're doing well, sir. Hope you're behaving yourself. Julia Dinkins is on as well. And Catherine Grant as well. Suzanne, thank you for letting us know your thoughts. This week we had a bunch of young people to graduate from high schools all over the place. Congratulations to all of you. For those who have graduated from our public high schools. Tomorrow I'm speaking at Memorial Day School's graduation, so I'm looking forward to that. Lynn, thank you very much. It is. I mean, we do. We foot many of the resources for them, and so we are working to come up with some type of program or an agreement with SCAD to say, hey, we recognize that you're here, but we also recognize that you do use our resources, and there should be some type of way that you help to reimburse us for the resources we put out. And so we've continued, and we still are talking to SCAD about what that looks like and how that looks. and so we'll see how that goes. Um, Catherine Grant, thank you as well. Um, and the Tates are stuck in the Savannah airport watching a delayed flight to Miami. All right, I'm sorry. Um, why y'all just didn't fly Mark's plane? Just get in Mark's jet and just fly on down to Miami. But y'all be safe. I know you hate being delayed, but we want you to be safe. Um, hey, Alan Wright, good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Um, and Buddy Ware has made it, and Tammy Simmons is ooping now. So I wanted to talk about that. Then the other thing I wanted to talk about was the Civic Center, and so that was, I think, Lynn's first question. Um, so we received a presentation yesterday. Jason Johnson, good to see you. Asia, good to see you. Hey, hey. Um, and essentially, we have to make some decisions. And what I've asked the city manager to do is to prepare us 3 to 4 pathways we can go down. And essentially, we're talking about what the future uses are, but really the question, the future uses are one thing, but I think we have to make a decision on the first thing. And the first thing is, what do we do with the building? When we built the arena, we built the arena because we knew that the current arena was outdated. And so the arena, the in-market arena, is a replacement for the current arena. Good to see Richard and Joya Dinkins on together. So y'all are late together, so you get a hall pass for being late. And so that's kind of where we are. So the question is, to me, in my mind, is, are we going to keep the whole facility? Are we going to get rid of the whole facility and sell it? Or are we going to keep a part of it and we're going to renovate, keep the theater and get rid of the arena? Good to see Pat Youngquist on. Good to see you, and also our overcomer Karen Austin. Good to see you as well. And so, we've done a lot of public input. People have been weighing in about this. We want people to be very vocal about where they are. Good to see you, Jeanette Jenkins. And then we're going to make a decision. Dr. King referred to it called the paralysis of analysis, where you sit there and you think about something so long that you become paralyzed in your analysis and nothing gets done. That's not going to happen on my watch. And so we've been talking about this for years. We're going to make a decision. And we'll see where it goes. The Civic Center is an important part of our city. It serves a lot of uses, and so we'll kind of see where it goes. So we're still receiving information and compiling information, and so we'll see how that goes. Good to see Brother Sean J. Christopher, and congratulations to Skylar Christopher, his beautiful daughter, who is going. She's going to kindergarten, right? Right, Sean? She's going to kindergarten, or she graduated from kindergarten. But I had a chance to go by Butler Elementary School to see her, looking all beautiful and everything. So congratulations. Oh, she's going to first grade. Okay. Well, congratulations to the Christophers for all of their work as well. So, Carol, well, I think, the question becomes form follows function. And so, it's important to extend the Marine Center, but it's also important to have a place for people to gather. For us, right now, we have a 400-seat cultural arts center, and then we have a 10,000-seat arena. We have nothing in between, nothing, except for the Johnny Mercer Theater. And so it is important for us to have equity in places for people to gather and meet. The reality is that the city creates equity because it is affordable. If we don't have that, then the affordability is gone, and then only certain people can afford it. Our ballrooms are heavily used. Our meeting rooms are heavily used. People are meeting there all of the time. And so, what replacement do you have for that space? And so some people are like, oh, well, you can replace it later somewhere else. Well, people have stuff now. And so, I think that's part of the consideration. You're welcome, Lynn. Good to see Pat Rossiter, man. You've been all over the place, man. You didn't even take me. Good to see Renee Butler on. Thank you for joining us. So I wanted to talk about that. The other thing I wanted to talk about, Vera is on. Marsha, thank you. Cheryl has joined us. Good to see you. But last week was a rough week, man. I mean, so Friday, I was in New York. Good to see you, Gigi. Thank you for joining us. But, Friday night, we had 2 homicides on Friday night. You all know I had to run up to New York to check on moms. But we had 2 homicides on Friday. Then we had a couple of events, 3 events that occur on Saturday. And, thank you to our Savannah Police Department and their great work and the great work of our community. Because on Saturday, the event injured more than 4 people. And so it was classified as a mass shooting. No one died, but people were injured. They're all out the hospital, and they're all recovering at home. The good news was for us, thanks to the work of the Savannah Police Department on Friday, the 2 homicides on Friday, we have arrests in both of those. Arrests have been made on those Friday events. On Saturday, one of the events was cleared. We believe that the victim might have also been the suspect. So that is cleared. And we did make an arrest in the Ellis Square shooting. Good to see Bernice on. We made an arrest in the Ellis Square shooting. Angela is here. Good to see you. But the thing that bothered me was the guy, and again, I say this saying at the very beginning that people are innocent until proven guilty. We live in a nation of laws. Hey, Tracy Mackey, congratulations to the new judge of the magistrate court, right? So y'all give her some love, and we congratulate you, ma'am, on your victory. So congratulations. Congratulations. Good to see Renee Weaver on with us as well. But the thing that bothered me, good to see Lori. But the thing that bothers me was that the guy accused of the shooting in Ellis Square on May 18th, there were 10 different people shot. This same guy, again, innocent to proven guilty, but he was in custody 50 days earlier for felony drug crimes. He was in jail, and he got a bond of $4,950. So this person was released on bond for felony drug crimes, but he was arrested 2 months before and was given bond. He was charged with crack cocaine with intent to distribute and possession of marijuana, but he was released, supposedly had an ankle monitor on, and this dude was in the streets shooting people with a gun he wasn't supposed to have. And so the challenge is, and it's still a challenge, Paula, good to see you. And I've said before, and I'm really, really very clear on this, is that if you are involved in gunplay, trigger pulling in our city, you don't deserve to be back on the streets, or felony violent crimes, and certainly crack cocaine with intent to distribute. Maybe it wasn't with a gun, but I mean, it's pretty serious. That there was probable cause to believe that this person had committed a crime. Um, the criminal justice system is a system, which means that the Savannah Police Department, we arrest people and then we turn them over to a system that we do not control. We turn them over to um, a court system, to a prosecutor, in this case, the district attorney, and then they process that individual from there. The Savannah Police Department, the city of Savannah, does not prosecute people for felony crime. We lock them up. And then it's the responsibility of other folks to make sure that they're locked up. Again, I've said before, I mean, I am all about restorative justice. I'm all about diversion. I'm about second chances, except if you're involved in violent crime, if you are pulling a gun, trigger pulling, or if you're involved in some sexual assault. To me, nah, you don't get no second chance for that. And I think that, they need to be in jail, and we need to prosecute them because they're a danger to our community. And so, we'll see how all of this pans out. But the reality is, I think there'll be more arrests coming from Ellis Square. We're working with the FBI. But, that's why you have to go to the polls and you have to engage in voting. Now, Judge Tracy Mackey does not do, she does not do violent felonies. So don't even start asking Judge Mackey about that. But, we just have to insist in a very loud voice. District attorneys are elected. Judges are elected. And they need to be very, very clear that this community cannot stand for violent crime, and that they have a role in crimes of the street, because if people are involved in violent crime, there's a propensity for them to be involved in violent crime again. Now, low-level offenses and all of that, again, I'm all for working out alternative means for people who want to do right. But if you're involved in violent crime, nah, you need to sit down somewhere. So, let me see. And good to see Michelle and Mr. Bill on. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well. So that's what we're dealing with. So we want you all to ensure that we're very clear about what we're doing. Hey, Lala, good to see you. But I think it's predictable, it's consistent. It's saying that we believe that violent crime should not be allowed here, and it has to be very clear that when you do violent crime, people need to know. When I was growing up, I knew that there was lines that I could not cross. One thing about parental behavior is that punishment has to be certain, it needs to be consistent, it needs to be immediate. And so for me, wherever I acted up was where it happened. And I had to be certain that this was this line. If I stepped over that line, something was going to happen to me. It was not going to be good. It was going to happen wherever I am. Hey, Rachel, good to see you. Good to see you. Stella Hopkins from McIntosh County. And so, I remember once when I was growing up, I showed my behind in a grocery store. And, grocery stores are the devil. Because if you ever notice, and I notice now, is that all the healthy stuff, they put at eye level for adults. All the cheap stuff, right? And then all the good stuff, the good sugary stuff, they put at eye level for the kids. So they put Raisin Bran and Wheat Flakes and Wheat Bran and all that crap up there. They put Fruit Loops and Crunch Berries and Cocoa Puffs and Lucky Charms and all that down there. And so my mother was in there trying to get like the cereal in the bag. Ain't nobody want that cereal in no bag. It didn't have no box and nothing on it. I mean, nobody wanted that. And so I'm like, Mama, I'm pulling the thing, and all the cereal came down on the floor. And my mama took that bag of Wheat Thins or whatever it was and bust my behind. I mean, Wheat Thins were going all around the grocery store. All right? And then she paid for them. But I knew I stepped over the line It was immediate. The punishment happened where the offense occurred. I knew it was clear, and I knew it was consistent. Whenever I go now as an adult into a grocery store, every time I touch a box of cereal, I shudder a little bit because I just remember the Pathmark. It was in Pathmark, the Pathmark massacre. I remember that, and so I don't do that anymore. I mean, I look around and make sure my mother's not around when that's going on. Um, but you know, bringing it back to my point is that people need to know, hey, I know that if I'm going to involve myself in gun crime in the city of Savannah, Georgia, I know two things are going to happen. Either I'm going to get killed or I'm going away for a long time. And that's why the city of Savannah, 2 years ago, we hired a U.S. attorney, a federal prosecutor. She's a city of Savannah employee. She's a city of Savannah assistant attorney, but she works in the U.S. attorney's office. So far, I think 14 indictments she's had, 14 indictments, over 30 arrests, and she has 40 some odd cases in the pipeline. When you do Fed time, you do real time. And so we're not playing. If your crime reaches to the federal level, if the local DA ain't going to do it, we're going to get you. And guess what? That is going to be one of our crime deterrents. That if you're going to be bold enough to do the crime, then you're going to do the time. So, so we're doing that. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, wherever you show, yeah. Oh, wait. Hey, Your Honor, Kim, Ziamida, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. So good to see you. Thank you for joining us as well. But yeah, Lucky Charms, all of that. I mean, I love Raisin Bran. I didn't really love Raisin Bran then. I loved Apple Jacks, and really I love Cocoa Puffs because when you did Cocoa Puffs, you end up with chocolate milk, and you could drink the chocolate milk. I mean, that was my thing. Good to see Angelisa Bryan on as well. But now, shoot, I can't do all that milk, so I have to do lactate because now it's a whole different experience with a big bowl of cereal. But anyway, good to see Sharon Taswell. Thank you for joining us. That's right. Timmy Ade, where you show out is when I show out. And that's true. When you show out in our city, that's where we're going to show out. So if you're going to pull a trigger, we're going to be very clear that you have a place to go. And so that's kind of where I was on that. Brenda Rosenberg, thank you. We appreciate you. Let me tell you about what the Elks Lodge, Elks Lodge 183. They do some great stuff, and tonight I had a chance to go out there. They had literally thousands of dollars worth of supplies that they're giving to the homeless and to the homeless veterans that they get from their Grand Lodge through grant programs. And so they presented that to the housing, to the Homeless Authority. And so thank you so much. Thank you to all the Elks for that. I mean, I think Savannah has the best elk lodge in the kingdom. That's 183. They have the Elks Lodge right over Wilshire. They do drug awareness programs. They do charity bingo. If you ever want to see something, if you think like the NBA is hard competition, come out to one day bingo nights. You want to see some competition? Those little old ladies and those folk being there, them bingo. I mean, you think you're watching the NBA Finals in there. But thank you, Brenda, and to all of the great Elks folks for the work that they do. Yeah. Paula, we love you too. And Deborah, yes, I do miss the Pathmark store as well. Yeah, well, Daphne, you got to have a fair trial. I absolutely agree with you. Again, I said at the very beginning that people are innocent until proven guilty. And I think that it has to be guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, which is how our criminal justice system is based. But I think you have to be very clear in prosecuting. I don't think that people that are out there shooting people should be bonded out. I just don't. And I think that it should be very clear that after a fair trial, if you're found guilty, you're going away for a long time. And, we create high and aggravated circumstances because you used a gun, that maybe you don't get probation. Let you think about what you've done. So Tamika says Raisin Bran for you too. I don't know. Raisin Bran, I don't know. But the only problem with Raisin Bran, which was good, I need to put more sugar on the Raisin Bran. They didn't put enough sugar on it. So good to see Shauna Moss on. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Joan. I appreciate that. And shouts out to all of our seniors. Yeah. Bingo is no joke. And Patricia, you're right. Good to see Lawrence Bunny Bryan III. Good to see you, sir. Angelique King. Good to see you, ma'am. Hopefully you're doing well as well. Now, Trish says Raisin Bran Crunch is a game changer. Trish, I could never get with Raisin Bran Crunch. I didn't know what that crunch was. I mean, some things you just got to leave alone. Raisin Bran was Raisin Bran. Then you put crunch. I don't know what that crunch thing was. I don't know about all that. I didn't know about the Raisin Bran Crunch. What was that crunch? Was it a nut or something? I didn't know what it was, so I left that alone. No, Daphne, I agree. I don't think that I think the police have to charge based on what the evidence says. The DA has the opportunity then to revise the charges. The DA's office has investigators. So if they find the charges are different, they can revise the charges. And certainly, judges are the arbitrators. Juries are triers of fact. And so, you could be charged of anything. I could be charged of a whole bunch of stuff. But if I didn't do it and the facts are not there to support it, then the facts are not there to support it. I also know that sometimes we have very serious crimes that are pleaded down, which means individuals who should not be back on the streets are back in the streets. Why is that a problem for us? That means that individuals who have violent tendencies, individuals who have scores to settle, they're back on our streets. They haven't learned their lesson. There's no real consequence attached to their actions. So they're out there doing crazy stuff. So assuming that this man, we assume he's innocent, but the fact was he was charged already with possession of crack cocaine and marijuana with the intent to distribute. He was out on bond, and then he's out here shooting, has a gun, and he ain't supposed to have a gun. So, I mean, at what point do you get it? And so, that's my issue. So, but anyway, we'll see. And y'all lock your cars as well. All right, Lisa Jones is on. Good to see you. Good to see Angel Fluid has joined us. Oh, Anjali says it's granola. See, now Anjali is one of them healthy ones, so she would know it's granola. I just wasn't going to spend my money on that to waste it, and it'd be that. Now, I do like Frosted Flakes. I've always liked Frosted Flakes. Yeah, I always liked that. And I like Fruit Loops. I like Fruit Loops as well. So, yeah, too much crunch. Yeah, good to see all the women. Estella Shabazz, good to see you. Hope you're doing well as well. Carol, thank you very much. Shauna, the WWE, I think it is coming to Savannah on Monday. Tennille Livingston, good to see you. On Monday, I think the WWE or WWF, I think the WWE will be in Savannah on Monday. So good to see Reverend Debbie Morris. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. And Stanley, hey, so all right, so now I got both Rosenbergs on. So y'all, we're gonna give Stanley Rosenberg some love. Y'all give him some love because again, he's with the Elks. And I was really glad to be there. Thank you for the food. It was delicious, absolutely delicious. Thank you. But thank you all for what you do. It's good when you have community groups that are out there doing good things because it's the right thing to do. And they literally have given back thousands of dollars. And here we are before Memorial Day helping out homeless veterans and people. They're giving out air fryers and coffee pots and all of these things. So thank you so much to all of the Elks for doing that. All right, now y'all getting a little out of control here. All right, So Tamika says add bananas. I look, that's too much work. If I got to go and I ain't doing all that. I mean, Frosted Flakes. I mean, who got time to sit down here, pour milk, and then go add bananas? We ain't doing all that. See, that's that healthy stuff. I mean, I'm adding sugar if I got to add anything. Anjali says Team Lucky Charms. I could never give. It's magically delicious. I mean, it's just, that's just nah. I did like Lucky Charms though. Was the one with the marshmallows in it? I think I did like that. Um, and Cheerios. Now, I couldn't stand Cheerios. My mother loved buying us Cheerios. Matter of fact, it was Cheerios that was in the bag, right? It was like wheat. They call it wheat circles or something, some crap like that. And you just had to put so much sugar in it. But they have flavors now. So you wait till I'm grown, right? Hey, it's the amazing Rosemary Mackey. Good to see you from Skidaway Island. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Let me see. Trish says team eggs and bacon. Well, Trish, we know that you have an amazing husband that wakes up and cooks you eggs and bacon. But for people single like myself, you have to go and make your way to the kitchen, and you have to just get what's there. So, I mean, well, now you can do DoorDash or something and do like Waffle House as well. Hey, Nikki Torian, good to see you. Long time no see. Hope you're doing well over there in Duval as well. Thank you very much. So now we're talking about cereal, y'all. See, this is how this happens. Chat says Honey Nut Cheerios. See, all right. And Zoe says Cheerios are oat. Oat is good for the heart. Nobody wants to hear that. See, so you get people like Zoe on all healthy. It's good for my heart. I'm not eating for health. I'm eating for cartoons on Saturday morning. That's what I'm eating for. All right, and now here goes E. Joyce Paris again, another healthy one. Oatmeal with bananas and walnuts. Ah, that's too healthy. Diane Jackson, good to see you, and congratulations to the young men of honor for all that you do. Reverend Debbie Moore, she likes Honey Nut Cheerios too. Not enough sugar. Not enough sugar. Sorry. Just not enough. So I think I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. All right, now here comes Barbara with mushroom and spinach omelets. Again, you're talking about too much work here, Barbara. It's too much work. Too much work. Too much work. But if there's any other questions, I do want to tell you this, and I want to make sure because it kind of rubs me a little bit, right? So Monday is Memorial Day, right? And there is a difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day. And Memorial Day salutes those who have lost their lives in service to our country. So Memorial Day is a somber day. It is the unofficial beginning of summer, but it was called oh Lord, I forgot what it was called. But the purpose of it was to be able to remember those who have lost their lives in while serving the United States. It was known as Decoration Day. That's what it was, Decoration Day. And so that's what it was, right? Veterans Day honors those who are veterans. So I want us to be very careful and make sure that we're intentional in our discussion. So although it's a day of relaxation, it's also a day of reflection. So I mean, I've heard people say Happy Memorial Day. You don't really say Happy Memorial Day. You say Happy Veterans Day because we're saluting people who are alive. You don't say Happy Memorial Day because it's like saying Happy Funeral. Happy Death recognition. We take time, and at 3:00 on Monday, we ask people to be still and just do a moment of silence for those who have lost their lives in service to our country. So, so y'all, please no Happy Memorial Day. Memorial Day is a day of reflection, and so I just want to say it because I mean people are like Happy Memorial Day. No, you know Happy Memorial Day. No, let's not do that. Let's not do that. All right. Um, yeah, people do that as well. So um, yeah, Anjali, thank you very much. It does. I mean, I just want people to understand because, um, you know, we give honor to those who are serving on Veterans Day. We certainly could thank people for their service on Memorial Day, but it's kind of hard to say Happy Memorial Day. It just sometimes people are nice and they're kind. They won't say anything, but it kind of makes me like this, and so. Um, there are a lot of people who have lost their lives um, for freedom and for our way of life. They put on a uniform and they did not come home. Um, and we take this time to make sure we never forget them. And so taking a moment to be able to remember those that had given their lives. Okay? So we will do that. And there was one other thing. I forgot what it was. 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 But be safe. Don't drink and drive. A day on, hopefully a day off. Self-care is important. We want you to take care of yourselves. So I don't know if there's anything else that y'all want me to talk about. We covered a lot tonight. Oh, so Juneteenth, get ready, get ready, get ready. So Juneteenth, June 19th, 2024, we will be hosting our first ever um, walk to the water. Um, Juneteenth is um, the commemoration of when the soldiers came to Galveston, Texas, to inform um, the enslaved people there that they were free. It took 2 years from the Emancipation Proclamation to um, the to get to Galveston, Texas. It took 2 years for them to get there, and the issue is, as much as we celebrate Juneteenth for celebrations that that everybody was indeed free, the issue really is that for 2 years there were people who were free and did not know that they were free. There were people who acted as if they had shackles on their hands and the shackles were not there at all. There were people who died within that 2 year period believing that they were enslaved when they were in fact free. And so, as much as we have a lot of celebrations, Anjali put up about the Juneteenth um, Fine Arts Festival, and we have a bunch of them all over the place. We'll be celebrating Carol's birthday and Bernice's birthday. But it was important to me that we as a community commemorate. So we'll be starting somewhere on MLK and we'll be walking from MLK, and it's not a parade. This is an opportunity for us to walk from Midtown Savannah to the river. We'll have trolleys available for those who want to ride. If you can't walk, that's fine. Or if you walk and get tired, it's fine. But it's just a walk. And we want to walk in honor of those people who, their lives were forever changed in doing that. So I really want my Friday Night Live family to be there. I might have to find some shirts for us to have. But I really want you all to be there because for us, it's important. It's important for our children. Juneteenth is now a national holiday. And it's important for us to be able to teach people about the meaning of Juneteenth. And it's a dual meaning. It's understanding that the people in Galveston, Texas were told they were free. But the tragic part of it was the 2 years of people who did not know, did not realize that they were free. They were shackled in their minds, even though their bodies were not shackled. And so we know that we live in a time where we are fighting for the mind. We're fighting for the mind. And many people are 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 not shackled by their bodies, but they're imprisoned in their minds, and they could never grow or glow because they are still imprisoned in their minds. They say they can't, so they don't. People have told them they can't, so they don't even try. They are definitely they're caught up. They don't think they can do better, so they don't. They don't believe that they're wonderfully and beautifully made, so they have self-esteem issues. They're not told that they're worthy of love or care, and so they don't believe that they deserve it. And so in this, we're having a Juneteenth of our own. We're going to walk people to the river for them to understand that they are free. And free, and the way I believe, free indeed. Good to see you, Marion Goldwire. Um, and and good, I'm glad. Carol's going to be singing Take Me to the River. Kathy, this will be on Juneteenth. Pat Rossiter says him and Paula will be there. Pastor Osborne, I hope you get a team tabernacle there, because you know it's about 5 million of y'all. All right, Billy, but that's what we want to do. We want to do that because we have to start changing our paradigm. We're caught in many of our young people are caught in a cycle of gun violence. You know, when they had people who were enslaving them and now they're enslaving each other, either by gun violence or by incarceration. And that is not the destiny for their lives. It's just not. You know, that you are able to be so much capable of so many things. And all of us have limits on our minds. And so, you know, if we can believe it, we can achieve it. Byron Horn is on. Whoa, from Anchorage, man. I'm going to give you some love just for that. All right, Byron from Anchorage. So look, we now are outside the continental United States. We're all the way in Alaska, man. What time is it in Anchorage? And Keith Kimball is joining us. Good to see you, sir. But you know, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this for the rest of my administration, and I hope that it will catch on. But this is an opportunity for us to walk together as a community. You know, no, we're not frolicking and we're not going to parade and no bands and stuff. We are the parade. We're walking together as a united community because I believe, and I would not be serving this capacity if I did not believe that Savannah could be a safe, environmentally healthy, and economically thriving community for all of its citizens. All. Safe for all, environmentally healthy for all, economically thriving for all. If I did not believe it, if I did not believe we could have a year with zero crime in this city, I wouldn't be here. I get up every day because I believe it can happen, and I'm work every day until it does. But y'all get me, I'm going to get happy up ahead now. Marilyn, good to see you, ma'am. Hope you're doing well, and thank you, Daphne. I appreciate that. Thank you, Estella. I appreciate you. Bishop Daniel Boyd. Hey, Bishop Boyd, good to see you, sir. Hope you and the great folks of Emmanuel are doing well. And I need to talk to you about one of your members, Bishop. I know she hadn't been to church in a while, and she needs you, Bishop, because I'm suffering over here, Bishop. So I need you to get on the prayer line with that member because you know when she ain't under the word, we all feel it. So don't tell her I said that. But anyway, thank you all so much. We appreciate that. Diane, Miss Jackson, let's make sure we get the young men of honor there as well. We want them to be there. We want our whole community to be there, and we're gonna walk. And then those who can't walk, you ride. But we'll get together. We'll say a prayer together. We'll be finished in an hour, and you can go and enjoy the rest of your federal holiday. So thank you all so much. We will let you know, Ms. Johnson. It will probably be Wednesday, June the 19th at 9 a.m. It will probably be Wednesday, June the 19th at 9 a.m. We will send out the location as we get closer. So thank you all so much. We love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. I want to thank you all. Be safe. Let's remember those who've given their lives in service to our country. And thank you for being Savannah Strong. Peace.